Geralt, I'm in no mood for jests, especially dull ones.
Need to blow off steam? Go ahead, just not on me. Find some other target. I don't know, throw another bed off the balcony.
Ha ha ha. So it's to be dull jokes after all.
Rather have a serious conversation? We can do that if you prefer. So upset about Triss you gotta take it out on the furniture?
Would you prefer I take it out some other way? Know what? We should end this discussion before I say something I'll regret.
But I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Is that so? Very well then. Listen, you shagged my friend for upwards of a year. I cannot know what your Witcher's code says on the matter, but ordinary folk would consider it obscene, base, vile. I try not to think about it. That stupid bed was making it difficult. That's that.
I missed you so.
Yen, told you already, I lost my memory.
And I've lost my patience!
Oh, she's really not in the mood.
Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll talk about how Triss mediates Geralt's memories. That means how Triss in The Witcher 1 affects Geralt, who has amnesia. She kind of tells him, or to some degree guides him, about his identity. He lost his memory, and that's how the game begins, which is really a common trope. It happens in a lot of fiction. For instance, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yami the Pharaoh, if you remember him, Yugi has two personalities, Yugi and Yami. Yami, he has lost his memory of what it was like being a pharaoh. And Link in Breath of the Wild, and furthermore in Futurama as a third example.
I'm sorry, Father, but somewhere along the way, I forgot how to be your son.
Why, Antonio?
Because I have amnesia!
So, I've done a master's thesis on the mediation of memories on Story, which is a new social media. And I've drawn on a definition there that I want to share with you guys from a scholar called Josef van Dijk. And she defines mediated memories as the activities and objects we produce and appropriate by means of media technology for creating and recreating a sense of past, present, and future of ourselves in relation to others. So what that means is that we, in the activities we have, that would be writing letters to Triss or talking to Triss. We produce our identity or sense of past, present, and future. So in The Witcher 1, it both concerns the past, but also the present, the who am I right now, and the preferences, what actions I'm willing to take. That's also bound up on the past that they don't remember. So I'll just show you a scene from the trade quarters in the third act of The Witcher, where you'll see some of the approach or intent that Triss has towards Geralt when mediating his memories.
You're mistaken. I have him under control. And not just him. They're all leading out of my hand. I regret that Voltest is away at the summit, but I trust you'll tend to the King's Council.
I assume you've resolved matters with Livarden as well.
Yes, I made an offer and he accepted. He claims his superiors had similar plans, but we beat them to it. Men can do nothing but talk and then always claim the initiative.
And how is your Witcher?
I should be able to convince him.
Don't overdo it. Geralt can be exceptionally perceptive.
I know. I must get back. I'll contact you when it's all over.
Never let the Witcher guess what you hide from him.
Triss,
Should you be up? I'd rather make sure you've recovered completely.
How?
Don't worry, this won't hurt a bit.
Now, this is not a video advocating that women can't be trusted. Triss is your friend in The Witcher 1, but she has an ulterior motive. She works with an underground organization called the Lodge of Sorceresses that the kings do not know are operating, and they're covert in their ways. But Triss is also important, and you have a quest in The Witcher 1 that I want to get into, called Identity, where Triss to some degree helps you to find out who Geralt is. And I feel that it's very, very hard to say that she's just a bad actor there. But I'll get into how she responds to different roads that Geralt can take. However, I want to say that I prefer Shani as a love interest in The Witcher 1. She's more overt. You know who she is. You know that you can trust her to some degree. Of course, she's a bit weird about Alvin at some point, but still she's generally more to be trusted than Triss. And I feel it would be better to be with a sorceress than to be with a doctor. But it might be, Shani is my preferred love interest. So now I'll get into the identity quest, and I'll show my analysis of this. I played through The Witcher 1 multiple times, and one thing I find is interesting is that Triss prefers if you do not kill the prostitute vampires in the trade quarters, because you at one point had a friend who was also a vampire.
I fulfill their dreams, if only for a brief moment, and dreams are priceless.
You mentioned times past. Could you tell me about your man?
I never said he was a man. More importantly, you were a friend to him. Alas, Regis just drank too much, thus we parted. His habit nearly killed him.
So when you tell her that you haven't killed those, or that you chose to side with them, then she reveals something of your past that's really important. A certain vampire that you also meet in The Witcher 3 was your friend, so it wouldn't be like you to kill those. Also, my take on it is that she would have preferred you to neither work with the Scoia'tael nor the Order, but to work on the neutral path, where you have her as a companion when you go to the Salamandra, the final boss's place. So in that sense, she has a preference. She's part of a faction that she does not reveal to you that she's a part of. She just presents herself as a benevolent friend, but she actually wants you to do those things. Also, I believe she wants you to act in the interests of Temeria and not kill Thaler, who's the chief of intelligence, and against Salamandra. So in that sense, there are a lot of different things that you can do. Of course, she wants to for you and her to be a pair, and she does not approve of you choosing Shani over her. And that's another one of the identity quest. It's the things that I think is really important. So all in all, there's also an entry in the identity quest about destiny, which is more related to the Lady of the Lake. And in that chapter, Triss is not present, so she does not have any anything to say about that. And then Dandelion is also a guide when concerning whether it's okay to kill humans, which I guess Triss would not approve of, but we don't get her opinion. So what I'm saying here is that Triss does have a lot of opinions, and I won't show all the clips because then nobody has done that before. Then I'll have to get into all of the episodes and find it on YouTube. But you can double check it. This is all true. So there is a sense of approval and disapproval. So even though Triss does not want to tell Geralt who is, but through her approval and disapproval, she still mediates Geralt's memories. Now I want to show how Geralt actually gets his memories back, because one important thing, which is not a part of the identity quest, is that Yennefer is not mentioned in The Witcher 1. Geralt completely misses out on that because Triss does not tell him that he has an adoptive child called Ciriel, or that Yennefer of Vengerberg is his main love interest. So in that sense, she is deceiving him. But that's not really a part of the internal game logic, because the internal game logic does not look at Geralt or Ciri. Well, I'll just show you a clip from The Witcher 2 about how he gets his memory back.
Rivia, population 1,234. In that, 253 non-humans. September the 25th, 1268, a riot erupts. A massacre ensues. The streets run with the blood of elves and dwarves. One person finds the courage to face the raging crowd. During the rioting, 76 non-humans perish, including the witcher Geralt of Rivia. Stabbed in the chest with a pitchfork by a man of whom we know only that his name was Rob, and he owed 3 crowns at the local tavern. Yennefer of Vengerberg dies trying to heal the witcher. The bodies of Geralt and the sorceress are taken away by a mysterious young girl with ashen hair. Their place of interment remains unknown.
I remember. Rivia. Yennefer.
So throughout The Witcher 2, there's a process where Geralt gets his memory back. And this is the first memory that he gets back of his own death. And then he realizes that Yennefer is important, that Ciri is important, and Triss also helps him in to some degree here, but I won't get into that in this video. However, I'll just remind you, if you don't know, that Andrzej Sapkowski, the author of the Witcher's book series, he does not believe that that the games are canon, and this is precisely because they're dead, but also because he believes that stories do not traverse media. So when one thing is in a game and another thing is in a computer, is in a book, then they can't be the same story. But I'll just show you a clip where he says that he doesn't believe it's the same.
Zapytali mnie wcześniej, czy zabieg właśnie taki fabularny, jaki oni sobie wymyślili, czy nie budzi moich zastrzeżeń. Powiedziałem, że nie budzi, dlatego że nie ma czegoś na świecie takiego, co można nazwać konwergencją mediów, czyli że komiks jest prequelem książki, a gra jest sequelem książki. Nieprawda. Medium jest medium, gra jest grą.
In conclusion, I would argue that Triss did not have a lasting effect on Geralt's memories. And this is because he got his memory back in The Witcher 2, and in The Witcher 3 he ought to be focused on Yennefer, but I really prefer Triss in that game because Yennefer is kind of a bitch. But still, I think that when all that's said and done, Geralt still has altered his memory in one way, and that is with the genie that he had bind himself to Yennefer. So I think when they complete that quest together, then Geralt's memory is really free again, or disentangled from all these magical traps. It's also a kind of magical thing that makes him lose his memory after being with the Wild Hunt, or returning after 5 years of not knowing where he is in The Witcher 1. So I just want to end this video by showing the result of the Genie quest in The Witcher 3.
Got you! Your master died before uttering his last wish. I cannot capture you. We can struggle like this for eternity, or I can release you. If you do one thing for me. Do you see the spell that binds us? Only a djinn can remove another djinn's spell. Remove this one and you'll be free.
The Witcher is a magical world in which you can lose your memory or regain your memory. Geralt uses something called the Rose of Remembrance in The Witcher 2, which helps him restore his memory, but which he also gives to Triss as a love trinket. But I've shown a bit how Triss in The Witcher 1 uses Geralt as a plaything, because he does not have a memory that like he has, and that gives him a disadvantage, because Triss can tell him who he is, which she doesn't, but still does to some extent. So I hope to hear if any of you Witcher fans disagree or agree with me in my analysis. If you want to go deeper into this, you can make your own video, but I've showed what I want to show. So please like, share, subscribe, share, whatever. But have a nice day, you guys. I love you.